So this is the second part of 6 ways to people like you.
Yes.
The fourth rule, be a good listener.
And encourage others to talk about themselves. So most of the people you see, they don't care about what you are interested about, which place you have been to, or what drama you have watched. All they want is all they want is an interested listener who could listen to them, so that they could expand their ego and tell about them more. Now, to be a good listener, you need to be genuinely interested in their conversations, and that will naturally place them. And also, that kind of listening is one of the highest compliments you could pay to someone. Now, we can pay anyone in that way. We can have them thinking of us as a good conversationalist, when in reality, all we have been merely doing is just being a good listener and encourage them to talk more. People who talk only of themselves think of only of themselves. And those people who think of only of themselves are hopelessly uneducated. Now remember this. If you aspire to be a good conversationalist, be an attentive listener, and to be
Mhm.
interesting, be interested in them. Ask questions that other person will enjoy answering, and encourage them to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. uh, Remember that the people you are talking to are 100 times more interested in themselves, and their wants and problems are more important than you are.
Mhm.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay. So I would like to add another thing to this.
Yeah.
It is an excerpt from the book itself.
Okay.
So this person, Isaac F. Marcoson,
Okay.
he was a journalist who interviewed hundreds of celebrities. Okay. So what he declared was that many people fail to make a favorable impression because they don't listen attentively. They are concerned what they're going to say next rather than listening about it, listening what they want to hear next. Okay.
Okay.
Or what they're going to hear next, they don't listen that. They just think of themselves only.
Yeah.
They think that I have to speak about this next.
Hmm.
So, what very important persons had told him that they prefer good listeners and good talkers as well. But the ability to listen
Hmm.
seemed very rare.
Yes.
And there is all, it is comparable to almost any other good trait.
Yeah.
And personally, I would like to add it. I feel that listening to other person is naturally underrated
Correct.
because in this world of rush and many things, it is chaotic at this moment.
Correct.
Everyone wants to speak
Yes.
about themselves.
Yeah.
But think about this for a second. If everyone speaks about themselves,
Hmm.
who will listen to them?
Exactly.
So that creates a paradox. And now what happens that when you don't have anyone to listen, you're automatically doomed.
Correct.
Your life will not have a meaning because you can't speak to anyone properly.
Yes.
And the people, if you want people to understand you
Hmm.
or you want to build a greater bond with them,
Yeah.
highly recommended listen to them.
Yes.
Because if you listen to them, 1 minute, guys, 1 minute, I want to
Oh,
show you all one thing.
special guest to our podcast, eh?
Yes, sir. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Kitty.
So the guys in video podcast can see my cat. It is not my cat, it is Trayvon, but she comes here. Okay, fine, go. Jao. Yep.
uh, Cameo.
Well, that was a cute interruption.
Kitty's cameo.
Yep. Even she is on a Kaizen effect. So as I was telling about this trait
Yeah.
of listening, I have got success with this.
Hmm.
You know why? Because most of the friends which I have made, okay, few of them have complimented me about this. Now I'm not boasting about myself, and I know the people who I'm talking about are listening to this podcast as well. They have told me that I listen to them perfectly. It's not that, taking the analysis out of it
Hmm.
makes you a good listener.
Yeah.
Rather than it is sitting calm, think, just listening to them. Whether it means to you anything or nothing, it's just for the sake of other person. You listen to them,
Yeah.
right? Anything you want to add, Aditya?
Well, I have this personal anecdote I could add to this principle.
Shoot.
I mean, personally, me, from my very beginning of the childhood, I'm not much of a talker, as you can already know, guess through the podcast. I'm more of a listener. So recently, I met this girl in our college. I mean, she is a
Mhm.
really silent girl, but I know somehow that she has a story to tell and she has a lot going in her life. So she seeks out to most of the people telling her own story and trying to have someone really understand her, but most of the people misinterpret her words, and at the end they end up hurting her. So I started talking to her, and all I did was just introduce myself, and I know there was a lot going on in her head, so I just sat down with her, and I started listening. I didn't say a word, and the conversation went up to 3 4 hours that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just constant. She was telling all about her life, what she was going through, the struggles, how she had to move from another town to here just to study here, what are the struggles she's facing at her uncle's house, and everything about that. And at the end of the conversation, she felt this kind of relief when she shared all of her inbuilt traumas with me, and it gave a relief for her, and also it kind of cleared up her mind that she can do something about this, and it isn't entirely how it isn't much difficult to solve her issue. And she even got further help from me, and all she needed was someone to listen to her and understand her. She didn't want, when people are coming to you and talking to you, all they want is for you to hear them, and they really don't come to you to seek out any advice from you. So just
Hmm.
don't talk much, be a good listener, and people will be genuinely interested in you, and you'll be a people's magnet in a way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting take on that.
Yes.
So, I have another point. The last one probably I will put.
Go on.
Okay. If you want to know how to make people shun you and laugh at you behind your back
Hmm.
and even dispose you,
Okay.
I'll give you the perfect recipe right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is, talk about yourself only to the other person. Okay, talk about yourself, continuous, hours and hours.
Yeah.
And whenever the other person speaks to you, just shut their mouth up and you speak again. Interrupt in the middle of sentences.
Yeah.
That is a perfect recipe to destroy you.
uh,
And this is written in the book.
Friendship 101, how to ruin your friendships.
I guess with this, we have wrapped up the third part, third chapter. Be a good listener.
Fourth chapter, actually.
Fourth one is in correlation with this again. Talk in terms of other person's interest.
Yes.
It is contradicting and contradicting to the third one, what we spoke, the fourth one we spoke about,
Yes.
which is being a good listener.
Correct.
But a good listener doesn't always mean that you're going to listen and listen. Even you have to voice out, you have to keep your opinions, right?
Correct.
So for expressing those opinions, you have to manipulate the conversations in some certain ways.
Yeah, you could say. Or
So
inputting your
one
own
of the,
opinion into it.
sorry?
Inputting your own opinion into it.
Ha, correct. So that is where talk in terms of other person's interests come into play. Moving on to the fifth chapter of the book,
Yeah.
the second part, talk in terms of other person's interest.
Yes. So, tailoring your conversations to someone else's interest is a powerful way to connect and engage with them. Now, by doing so, you not only make the interaction more enjoyable for them, but also demonstrate empathy and consideration. Now, before engaging in a conversation, take the time to understand the other person's interest and what topics excite them, what hobbies or activities do they enjoy. And knowing
Hmm.
this information allows you to tailor your conversation to their preference, and also making it more engaging and playful and meaningful. So, Roosevelt again, Theodore Roosevelt, uh, he said that uh, okay, Theodore
Roosevelt
Roosevelt,
is making many appearances on our podcast.
yeah, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, many great entrepreneurs, philosophers.
Yes, sir. Great
So
people.
Theodore Roosevelt always knew what to say whenever he met someone, and there was secret to how he was able to make an interesting conversation with people of a sort of any other backgrounds. So the answer was
Hmm.
simple. He told that whenever Roosevelt expected a visitor, he sat up late the night before and he read up on the subjects that he knew his visitors would be interested about. So that's why Roosevelt found a really great success towards his career in late
Hmm.
90s. So when you speak in terms of other person's interest, you're essentially building a bridge between you and them. It's like saying,
Okay.
I value what matters to you the most, and I'm willing to explore that together. So, this creates a sense of connection and making the conversation more enjoyable and also memorable for both the parties.
Hmm.
Now, listening is also a crucial aspect of effective communication. Okay, and by effective listening, you can pick up on cues about the other person's interests. Now it could be like just passing comments about his their favorite song or favorite activity, hobby, or food, or a recent vacation or a hobby they're passionate about. So use them as a cues, as a foundation for your conversation, and demonstrating that you value and remember what they share.
Hmm.
Sometimes also you may not be familiar with the other person's specific interest. In such cases, you can try to find common grounds with your peers. Now, identify
Hmm.
the topics that are likely to resonate with a much bigger audience, and also build your conversation around them. This approach can help create a shared experience, and also it creates a sense of unity and understanding among yourselves.
Hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
You want to add anything? Any?
Yes, sir. I would add.
Yes, of course. Go on.
So this is from the book itself.
Okay.
So I cannot pronounce this guy's name, so I'll skip it. So he was an essayist, a person who writes essays,
Mm-hmm.
and professor of literature
Yeah.
at Yale University.
Yale. Okay.
Ah. So when he was 8 years old, a Middle Eastman called one evening
Okay.
to his aunt. Okay.
Hmm.
So what happened? That guy's aunt and that guy had a skirmish between them,
Hmm.
a small fight.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what happened? That person diverted his attention from his aunt and focused on the person, the 8-year-old boy. And apparently, the Middle Eastern guy,
Hmm.
he knew that this 8-year guy liked boats,
Okay.
not boats and logs, boats.
Okay. There you go
Ah,
his reference.
yes, sir. So what happened? They spoke for literally an hour or and a half. The boy felt amazing after that conversation
Hmm.
because the Middle Eastern, he spoke with the interest of the boy.
Okay.
What happened later when he asked his aunt about this person? What he got to know was literally shocking.
Oh.
The person had nothing to do with boats.
Okay.
He was a lawyer in New York,
Ah.
but What he did was he spoke in interest to the boy's interest,
Okay.
which was boats. And he was so genuinely interested in the conversation, it never looked like he never knew a single thing about the boats.
Hmm.
So there is one effective principle which comes out of this. That is that someone will interest you if you are agreeable to him.
Okay.
So basically, I'll put it in more simpler words. We both are having the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We both are two strangers.
Okay.
I have got to know about your favorite thing. For example, let it be cricket. Even though I have no relation with cricket, still, I would make myself agreeable to the fact that I would be speaking about cricket,
Hey,
whether it is out of my comfort zone or not.
my favorite game is not cricket, it's snooker. You forgot?
I told that if we were two strangers,
Oh, okay.
mind you,
All right.
but I play snooker also.
Well, we could use a snooker. I mean,
Moving on.
I could tell some.
You want to
Yeah.
go on?
I mean, in the I guess around 2023, Daksh didn't know till that time that I love playing snooker, and as we are best buddies, and he wanted to even find common grounds and also talk on the same interest as our own. So he wanted to mingle more with me or play some different sports with me. Although he didn't like sports, he was a really good friend of mine. Not was. Why am I saying was? He is a really good friend of mine. No, Daksh, don't go.
Okay, okay.
So he's a really good friend of mine. So just to find more connection, to build more connection with me, he although he never played snooker in his whole life, but just because I played, he had a genuine interest and curiosity to even learn snooker for me, just to play with me and connect with me more. So this shows how much invested he is in our friendship and how genuinely is a really good friend. I couldn't ask for a much better one. Brothers.
Sir, brothers from another mothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that sums up the fifth
Yeah.
chapter, which is talk in terms of other person's interest.
Moving on to the
Last.
last and final,
Yes, sir.
make other person feel important and do it sincerely.
Well, as Aditya stated now, I did put efforts into our friendship. Like, because we both come from different academic backgrounds as well.
Well, not even
And
academic. It's just our whole upbringing has been different. In both are
true,
opposites.
how we both are opposites on many grounds. Okay, we are opposites.
Yes.
But that is what makes this friendship interesting because I learned something from him and he learned something from me.
But how the hell we did
So it's
even did become friends?
we spoke about this in our introduction episode.
Right.
So guys, if you didn't know that, how we became friends and how we started this all, on Spotify we have our episode,
Yes.
the introduction episode. And moving on, make other person feel important and do it sincerely. So that's what I did. I wanted to make Aditya feel important at that particular moment. And it was a sincere and genuine effort.
Yes.
And that has led to this tree which has bloomed into a podcast today.
Ah, well said. Well said.
Adab. Okay. So Dale Carnegie once said that there was a okay, so Dale Carnegie's experience, this is not his side.
Okay.
There was this clerk working in the job of weighing envelopes.
Okay.
He was very bored from his job
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't enjoying that much. It was evident.
Yeah.
So what Dale Carnegie thought was, he wanted to make his day the best day ever. So what he thought was he wanted to appreciate the guy. But since he was a stranger, he couldn't find any common ground.
Hmm.
What could he appreciate him about? Because he never knew him.
Yeah.
He could never speak about the work because both are different people. Only they are going to meet the first time in their lives.
Yes.
So, after thorough searching, he found out one thing which he could appreciate the clerk about, and that was about his hair.
Hmm. Just like mine.
Yep, definitely. So, what happened when he went up to the clerk? He appreciated about his hair,
Okay.
and in result, the clerk who was having a moody day, not enjoying his job, suddenly he his face gleamed up with smiles all over his face. He was very modest after that, that my hair weren't my hair was good in my college days, now it is not even that great still. But that one compliment,
Yeah.
the one thing, the other person which he made feel important to the clerk,
Yes.
that made his day. Because see, if anyone compliments you about a thing which no one has complimented you about before, you think about that thing the whole day. For example, now if I am complimented about my public speaking or my conversation, or if someone has given me a compliment, just a friendship, like just how Aditya did, even though it has become common for us, still you will get those glimmers
Yeah.
again and again in your mind. Oh wow, I got complimented about this. So this is a part of psychology of our brain.
Yeah.
We crave the attention, we crave compliments.
Yes.
So the principle make other person feel important, and doing it sincerely is very important here. And would you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, what you said is true, and also, it's the deepest urge of a human nature, and it is the deepest urge, and also, it is craving attention, and the desire to be important is part of our human nature, and also
Mhm.
important law of human conduct. Now, this philosophy of appreciation works like magic with almost every day or everybody. Now, let's say you have entered into a shop to buy some stationery items or some jewelry or some grocery or shopping. When they pack your stuff and send it to you, you can as much as show a gesture of gratitude by saying thank you, or you could use, you could just ask them to lend a hand. Sorry, just you could
Mhm.
ask them to pass you a bag, or just say excuse me, or I'm sorry, or the small gestures. Whenever you present them, do it sincerely, and it will actually communicate the emotions behind this, and also it will help the person feel important. So for the people
Start.
who lack self-confidence, remember, take a piece of chart paper or a piece of paper, write down you are important, and stick it in front of your table or on your door or your wall, and or in a place where you frequently walk by, or you can see proper view. And the unraveling truth is that almost all the people you meet feel themselves superior to you, as Daksh mentioned. And in some way, in short way to their heart, is to let them realize is some subtle way that you recognize that importance and recognize it sincerely.
Hmm.
That's it, I guess. That's all I have to say.
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess I have another point.
Okay.
Okay, so so I told the incident of Dale Carnegie, right?
Hmm.
What happened with the clerk?
Yeah, yeah.
So he tells this story to another person.
Okay.
So the another person asked, "Why the hell do I need to compliment others? Why should I compliment?"
Okay.
So that put him into serious thinking, and he stated this. Okay, I'm directly referencing it from the book itself.
Okay.
If we are so contemptibly selfish that we cannot radiate little happiness
Yeah.
and pass on a bit of honest appreciation
Hmm.
without trying to get something out of it,
Yeah.
If our souls are no bigger, then no scrap apples we shall meet with the failure. So it's really deserved.
Hmm.
So putting into simpler sentences, what happened here was he mentions that if we are so selfish that we can't be grateful to other people,
Yeah.
we are failures in life.
Yes.
This is not the real meaning of existence. That is what I interpret from it.
Okay.
Because if you're not grateful to the other people, or if you're not grateful about these things,
Hmm.
we cannot apply these laws into our life as well.
Correct.
As we stated in the earlier episode as well, the change comes from the inner mind.
Yes.
We have to develop our inner mind in such a way that we are grateful to the other people.
Hmm.
And when we are grateful to other people, you're automatically making them important. And you're being sincere by being grateful.
Yes.
So I would end it there. What about you, Aditya? Do you have anything to tell about it?
No, I think we both have pretty much covered everything in this chapter.
Okay, so it's time to wrap up this episode. And for the next episode, we are going to be covering the part three, which is,
Which is
which is,
which is drum roll. How to win people to your way of thinking.
how to win people to a way of thinking. This is the next episode we are going to speak about. This will be divided into four parts because there are 12 rules in this one. We are covering three rules in each podcast so that it is convenient to the listener as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to dedicate much of your time in one single episode. So that's why you're breaking it down simpler.
Yes.
And breaking it down makes us also speak in more depth about those things.
Yes. And
Our main aim
yeah.
is to give you the book summary,
Yes.
but with our experience as well.
Yeah. As people
Continue.
have really short span of concentration while listening to the podcast, so we have decided, me and Daksh have decided to keep the podcast length up to 30 minutes or 45 minutes max. So if if the parts are going to be long enough, we are going to divide it into multiple episodes and we're going to post it on YouTube and Spotify.
Yep. So, guys, subscribe on YouTube, comment down on both the platforms, whatever you feel. Constructive criticism is appreciated. Any criticism is appreciation. What the hell I did there? Okay, we'll keep this part, Aditya. We'll keep this part.
Yes.
Okay, so whatever you post is appreciated by us.
Be open and
And
honest, give your feedbacks.
yes,
Nonetheless, if there
definitely
is a criticism or appreciation.
correct. So I would rest my case there, Your Honor. See you guys. Bye bye.
Alright, bye bye.